He heard I didn't like it and took it as an invitation to bully me. And so with his arm over me like that, he was prone to a hip toss.
God.
Which is exactly what I did.
You've opened yourself up to a hip toss, you fool.
Whenever he gets back, I actually have
my own from while he's gone. This is like September. And this guy's like actually my friend, right? But towing, something about it is just high intensity. Things are going rough. This is acrobatic paragliding towing stuff. And it is always just, it's so tense that relationships are strained every tow club everywhere in this para world. Okay, so he's showing me how another guy is too alpha. And by doing that, he puts his arm over my shoulder in almost a headlock. And he's rough, and he
doesn't like that.
He's like grinding me at it and pulling my head down. He's shorter than me, so he's making me like bend over. And I laugh with him and say, "Hey, man, I don't like that." But then he does it again, and right, and it's just like, well, now we've
so you shot him.
Now we switched from a demonstration of like, what someone else did to him doing it to me, right? He heard I didn't like it and took it as an invitation to bully me. And so with his arm over me like that, he was prone to a hip toss.
God.
Which is exactly what I did.
You've opened yourself up to a hip toss, you fool.
So I rolled him over my back, feet way up in the air, and I put him down gently. But he was there looking up at me, and I continued to walk on. And
I imagine you go into a kata at that point, like a five move kata. You literally go Ki-ya! And fucking bust out a couple of
and we're still friends, and everything is cool. I've replayed it in my mind a couple of times because I'm wired that way because I'm stupid, and I'm like, I'm kind of okay with how that went down, right? Like
I'm okay with how that went down too.
Yeah.
A hip throw is a humiliating way to get tossed in a street fight. Wait,
it's a humiliating. Well, what it was like there was some sort of like big brother sort of like I can pick on Woody kind of thing, and then quickly the guy realized Woody could probably murder me right here with his bare hands, and he's just a nice fella who's being kind enough not to finish his kia.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
We got you, Steve.
Yeah. What we were saying was. You were asking which fight we were referencing, and you mentioned the Phoenix one, and I was just saying that a couple that I heard you speak about when you spit on the cab driver's car, which seems mildly your fault, and when you were
it's something we've all done,
and when you were
sometimes just for fun.
You didn't get the lead up to it, but that's okay. It's okay.
He was a little rude, but it was a spit. And then when you completely justifiably defended the honor of that incredibly racist young white lady in the elevator.
True.
I bet she was pretty.
Pretty hot.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty hot, yeah.
If an ugly girl drops an N-bomb and you're there, you're just like, get it, boys.
Yeah.
Believe me, if that's an Ohio 4, she's got to fend for herself. But,
if she's
an
an
Phoenix
Ohio 4,
9, it's like, all right.
Yeah. When you were, so I'll let you run through that, just the version of that defending the racist girl story, because I have a couple questions about that.
Okay. So basically what happened was I did the show, and you're young, you're single, you go out afterwards, you meet some girls. Me and this other comic met some girls. We paired up, and then it's the end of the night, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to walk these girls to their car in the parking garage. And he's like, all right, I'm going to stay here. So this comic and I are talking as the girls walk down the hall. I eventually run over, catch up, and there's a guy holding open the elevator doors. And he's basically saying, come on, girl, give me your number. She's like, we're good here. And he's there with 4 or 5 other guys, and he is African-American. There's a reason I'm saying this to part to the story. So he just keeps asking for the number, and I'm just kind of standing in the back like, all right, I guess I got to go in at some point. So he's like, come on, girl, give me your number. She's like, I'm not giving you my number. And I go under his arm. I'm like, look, I get it, guys. They're cute girls, but, let's just call it a night here, right? And the guy is just absolutely ignoring me. I do not exist. I'm Patrick Swayze in Ghost. I'm not there. And he keeps talking to this girl, and he's going, come on, girl, don't you want to hang with this bling? Don't you want to hang with this bling? She's like, I don't want your bling. You're not getting my number. His buddies start tapping him on the shoulder like, come on, buddy, let's go. And then he says it one more time, and she goes, I'm not giving you my number, you. And then she drops the N-bomb. And I just remember everything. What's that?
Says she's playing for keeps. She's tired.
She's playing for keeps. Oh, yeah. And everything, you know, you always hear those things that happen in slow motion. Everything happened in slow motion. I remember him walking in, the doors shutting behind his boys as the boys are trying to get the door open. And I see him starting to walk towards this girl. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. We're in an elevator. It's a confined space. So I kind of stand in front of him and we grab each other. And just instinctually, I just pulled his shirt over his head, and I'm just drilling him as hard and as fast as I can. And he's going, chill, dog, chill. I go, are you done? Are you done? He goes, chill, dog, chill. I go, are you done? He goes, I'm done. So I let go of him. I kind of stand off to the corner. The girl's crying. Her friend is hugging her, like consoling her. And because we were jostling around so much, we shook the elevator off its course.
My favorite
So now
part.
we're stuck. We're just sitting there. So these girls are crying. I'm standing there. The guy's pulling his shirt over his head. He's a little banged up. And I just remember Sarah Smiles by Hall & Oates is playing. And I'm like, well, I'll never forget this song.
Perfect.
And then
song.
he keeps like looking at me and he's just staring at me. And I'm thinking, he's going to take another pop. So be ready. He's going to hit me again. And he's looking at me. Then I'm not even going to pretend I'm not looking at him. I look back at him, because I'm waiting for him to hit me again. And then he just looks at me and goes, have you been on BT's Comic View? I was like, yeah. He goes, you did that Bruce Lee Kung Fu bit? I go, yeah. He goes, what are you doing in town? I go, I was at the Improv tonight. I'm doing a show with a bunch of my buddies. And that's how I met this racist in the corner. So he starts laughing. She kind of chuckles, but she's distraught. And I don't even remember talking to her after that. And next thing I know, we hear a boo, and the elevator goes back, and we're going up. And as we're going up, I'm like, yeah, if you want tickets, I'll get you and your friends tickets or whatever. He's like, oh, thanks, man. That's cool. The doors open, and as soon as they open, I just get bum rushed because his friends had heard everything. So I get pop, 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 shirt ripped. And next thing I know, the hotel desk clerk comes over. He goes, I called the cops, so you guys hang tight. They didn't hang tight. The girls are hitting the button in the elevator to go down to their car, and I'm sitting there in the lobby with my shirt ripped. I'm bleeding from my eye, and the other comic that I was hanging out with comes out of the business center holding a coffee, and he goes, I just left you. What? It all was probably 8 minutes long. It was crazy.